Okay guys, now I don't consider myself to be a prejudicial person at all, in the respect that I'm more than willing to either like you or consider you a complete douchebag regardless of your race, religion, sexual orientation, whatever. It doesn't really much matter to me. I'm an equal opportunity lover and hater, I guess. However, that said, there is one place that I slant just a little bit, in that old people tend to annoy me. I guess I'm kind of a self-hating old guy. And now that's not true across the board. You know, I understand that. Nothing is a blanket statement. For instance, my wife's aunts and uncles on her father's side, they're the next generation up from me, obviously, and they're all cool, very cool. And they're the old generation, because anybody older than, you know, more than 2 generations above me is pretty much dead now. But she's got a whole crew of them, Kenny and Shirley, Rita, Warren, Joyce. She's got a whole slew of people that are older that are very cool. Now, all that said, today I ran into one of those old people that really irritate the piss out of me. Let me tell you the story. I was in Walmart. But believe it or not, our local Walmart has a really good deli meat section. So that's what I was doing, getting some deli meats because, you know, I'm fat and I like food. So I'm standing in line. Now, you have to picture this. Behind the deli counter were 4 young kids, employees. They were probably all late teens to late 20s. Very, very polite and efficient. There was a lot of people in line. I was really impressed by how polite they were with everybody. You could tell 2 of the kids were still like learning the job, because the other 2 were helping them here and there along the way. So I get up, I get my turn, and the girl that waited on me, I told her what I wanted, and she goes to get it for me. And then this lady next in line to me takes her turn. Now, she was probably a little bit older than me. I'm guessing her for right around 60, maybe a little more. She orders some sort of cheese she wants sliced. She wants a 1/3 pound of this cheese. So the young man that waited on her, very nice kid, he takes her order, he goes over and he goes to the slicer. Now, I immediately noticed right away he had a little trouble getting the wrapper off the end of the cheese to slice it. Big deal, right? I mean, shit like that happens. So he's messing with the wrapper a little bit, and I see her, she's like, she's got an annoyed expression on her face because he's having trouble with the wrapper. So he gets it undone, and then he looks back to her and he goes, "Now, how much was this again you wanted, ma'am?" And she goes, "1/3 pound." And he's like, "Okay." So he goes back to do it. He starts slicing it, and then he was one of the more knowledgeable ones, so one of the more inexperienced kids comes over to him to ask him something. Distracted him for a minute or two, so before he goes back to slicing again, he goes over and says, "Ma'am, I'm sorry." He says, "Again, how much was that?" She goes, "It was 1/3 pound." Now I'm starting to get irritated by her attitude since these kids were so nice. Anyway, but then she looks over at me and she goes, "Can you believe it?" And now I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I said, "Can I believe what?" She goes, "These kids," she said, "they just can't do it." She said, "You just can't, these kids don't take their job seriously at all." Now that pissed me off, because these were some really nice kids, and she was obviously just a miserable old bitch just looking for something to complain about. Now, seeing as how society still has all these stupid rules against bitch slapping somebody who's acting like a douchebag, I instead went the sarcasm route. And what I told her was, I said, "Well, here's the thing." I said, "Basically, I would rather have someone ask me repeatedly what I wanted, because, you know, it's pretty good customer service that he's willing to ask again to make sure he gets my order right so that I don't get something that I didn't want." I said, to me, that makes him efficient at his job. And believe it or not, it's not really all that taxing on me to have to answer a question more than once. So I don't see what the big issue is, unless an individual left their house on a given day looking for nothing else to do but complain. And she didn't like that. And for just a second, I thought, holy shit, I'm going to have to fight this old hag, because she looked like she wanted me dead. And then I don't know if she saw in my eyes that it's like, yeah, I'm old too, I don't mind punching you in the face. She just gave me a huff and looked away. And the funny thing was, there was this 2 women next to me. I think it was a mother and daughter that were waiting to get their order in. And they started laughing like hell. And I could see they were laughing, but they didn't want the old lady to see. So they're like walking right away from their cart with their heads down. And I can see that they're laughing. I'm like, "No, don't walk away. Laugh in her face, because she's a bitch." But that's why old people irritate me. Things like that. That lady left her house looking for something to complain about. And must be just because I'm old too, she looked at me and thought, "Oh, well, I've got to have a compadre here. This is somebody who'd be simpatico. These damn kids are on my lawn." And that's not the case. Fuck you. No, nobody, old people so many times think everybody owes them something or something. We don't, nobody owes us shit just because we've managed to live for a extended period of time. So my advice, okay, my advice to this lady is, if you wake up in the morning and all you're looking to do is go out there and complain about somebody or to somebody, why don't you just go home, turn off all the lights, curl up in a corner somewhere and await death? And when it gets here, then, you know, your 27 cats I'm sure you own can feast on your flesh or something. I don't know.